Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So these verses that I have recited in the previous video, from verse 60 of Surah al-Kahf, tells about the journey of Musa alayhi salam to meet Khidr. And I'm not sure if this is, I have to check, and you can tell me if you encounter it, whether it's in the Bible or not. But this journey, as I have said last time in the significance of Surah al-Kahf and how it provides a protection from trials. So one of the biggest trials we face is the trial of knowledge and the people of the knowledge. So knowledge is a great responsibility, because knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, and with power comes lots of dangers. Like the dictator, when he has power, is a great threat to his surroundings. Similarly, when knowledge is power, then with power comes the responsibilities, and if it is misused, it's gonna be a big problem. And also, since it's a power, you cannot gain something of that value without exposing yourself to hardship, to trouble, and you need to endure overcome lots of temptations and trials while seeking the knowledge. And this nice journey of Musa and his story with Khidr tells this kind of some etiquettes of acquiring knowledge and some deeper meanings, which myself I feel I don't understand them all. But nevertheless, this is a place where I think with repeated recitation on every Friday, we should try to extract more and more beauties of this surah in general. Anyway, the first thing is, don't get proud, because the knowledge that we get, it's a very small fraction of the knowledge of Allah, which He gives to whomever He wants. So never get proud. So Musa alayhi salam, he met Allah, he used to talk with Allah, he heard Allah's voice. So he would feel, I think, very much triumphant that I have access to the source of knowledge, right? So even one day he said that I am the one who knows the most. Nobody in this earth knows better than me, perhaps. You see, so it's very, very dangerous that the people of knowledge, sometimes they get triumphed and they think that, okay, I have reached the apex. But always know that our knowledge is only a fraction, and there is always more and more to know. So Allah gave him a lesson, gave Musa alayhi salam the lesson that no, there is one person even has certain knowledge that you don't have. And that's why the body of knowledge is great. It's a huge, and no single individual can claim that he has encompassed all the knowledge. And when it comes to knowledge of Allah, our knowledge is just a small drop from a vast ocean. That's why we need to be humble. We need to be humble. One of the things here we notice is humiliate yourself, feel humble in front of, from whomever you are learning knowledge. Feel humble, because you are in the weak position at this time. He has a knowledge that you don't have. So approach him kindly, nicely, gently. Don't be harsh on him. And that's why every time Musa was saying that هل أتبعك على أن تعلمني مما علمت رشدا, in a very gentle expression, can you please let me follow you so that I can learn from something that Allah has given you, something like this, okay, in a very gentle way. And then the importance of sabr, importance of patience in acquiring knowledge. It's a very important thing. The knowledge cannot come in megabytes or gigabytes. It comes in bits, drop by drop, piece by piece. And it's very important to say this in the era of internet, in the era of social media, in the age of this digital communication. It's very important because our paradigm of seeking knowledge in this era is very, 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 what I should say, very wrong paradigm. Our methodology of acquiring knowledge in the age of internet is faulty. It will never bring knowledge because of this lack of patience, because we have a huge repository. We just search Google and see 2-3 pages, and we open a page or we get a PDF, we read 2 lines, maximum maybe 1 page, then we feel let's see another source, then we open another PDF, we read few one, and then say let's another source, because you have lots of sources, you have so much information. And then we don't read the text, which you go linearly one by one and then you get it in your mind and you process it. No, we start looking into images. So any novel you got, almost there is a 15 minutes notes about it in YouTube, or it's rendered into a movie by the Hollywood industry. So you see the movie and you thought that I have read the novel. You can boast about it, that yeah, I know what's there in this novel. But what's the deeper meaning? The intentions of the authors, the analyzing the beauty. This needs patience. This needs patience. So don't make your KPIs in the number of pages, number of books you read. Read just one book, but process it properly. You will feel happy. You will feel happy. Let alone the tension we have when you gaze on the light emitting screens for a long time. If you have better resolution screens or e-ink like Kindle, that's better, and process the knowledge slowly, bit by bit. Because our brain needs processing. Our brain needs processing. That's why Quran asks us for tadabbur. Quran never tells us that you just read Quran, because reading is not beneficial. Do tadabbur, and tadabbur means, as I said in previous occasions, is that coming from the dubur, which means the end of something. So when you read one verse, don't go to the next verse until you stop there. Try to analyze what you have done, what you have read. If there is a note, keep some note. If you want to cross-reference, cross-reference. If you want to read the tafsir, read the tafsir. When you feel happy, go to the next verse. Even more beneficial is try to do it something. As I have said, I think it was Abu Abdurrahman al-Sulami, one of the tabi'een, used to say that I have met so many Sahaba, and they said that we never took more than 10 verses from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we'll take 10 ayat from the Quran, stop there, go back to our homes, go back to our society, try to memorize it, understand its meaning, and do accordingly. Implement those verses in our life as much as possible. Until we feel that we are happy, then we go and take the next 10 verses. So this is the patience that we need. This is the patience that we need, and this is something we can also extract from this story. Because Khidr said that you will not be able to have patience, and perhaps he knew the nature of Musa. He's a person of might. He might, you see, one of those who have like a hot blood. he struck and the angel of death in his eyes and destroyed his eyes. With one struck, he killed that person, the Egyptian. Okay, so that's this kind of man. Okay, hot-blooded, full of energy. So this kind of man even needs more reminder. And no matter how much reminded, still he went hot. I mean, he could not see in front of him something that requires protest and still be silent. This is not Musa alayhi salam. It could have been Isa alayhi salam who said that if you got slapped in one cheek, turn the other one. I don't know whether he said that or not. How much that's true, if that part is not contaminated in the Bible. But this has been the overall tendency of Isa alayhi salam. But Musa alayhi salam, no. He could not tolerate someone who killed a baby in front of him. How can you tolerate that? So he protested. He broke his promise that he will not ask questions. And that tells us that the vastness of the knowledge. I mean, this guy, Khidr alayhi salam, he has a certain window of knowledge that Musa didn't have. He had a knowledge of certain things of the future or things from the unseen. You see, the window of knowledge of unseen is exclusively from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's the revelation, that's the glimpses of knowledge that Allah gives to whomever He wants through various channels. The acquisition of external knowledge, not from within, which you can grow by reading. It tells us there is another glimpse of external knowledge that is not apparent, that requires patience, that requires intelligence, that requires understanding, and above all, it requires some gifts from Allah from some way, revelation being the most important way. There could be some dreams if it is coming from Allah and you know that it's not from the shaitan. Okay, and these knowledge are amazing because it gives you, throws some lights on the unseen from the future events. So when it throws something from the unseen, then for sure this is valuable. It's very valuable. And this is what happened, that Musa didn't have those glimpses of lights that which Allah gave it to Khidr alayhi salam. These verses are, I intentionally didn't went through the story. I don't have time and the context doesn't allow, but I advise you to read this story and think about it every time, and so many things will start appearing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants us tawfiq and hidayah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.